I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm...
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon or is it kinda new? Great! Let's go find out what this Tatar...
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't...
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining...
So what, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as...
If you don't mind...
hold on, Sawada.
Well, fair point. In that case...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time...
So first the string...
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. It just so... Even back then.
Wait, so they're...
That's right!
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah,
Wow, yes. You really know your... Something then seems to have...
the kinda hard...
Sawada, you left out the big...
Oh, yes!
Get to the point.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha!
No! Paimon just meant...
I agree. It does. But considering that non-human...
Oh, and please read my essay. Sawada was... Oh, how about if I...
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up?
Akaba... Besides, if there...
good point. Okay.
We have some other stuff to do.
All right, thank...
Hey, so... that's it? Okay, then... After all, if you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many... Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, Nahida! Bad news. We just thought the bat did he escape or...
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean... I take no pleasure in saying that...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. So as long as you have some value to... Well...
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear. Don't you? And they're your friends. So I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial.
All right.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you... Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. Yes. As I told you once before. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole... You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible he was granted the amount of information, so I asked the Balladeer to search... Exactly! I understand. How things will go in the future, our minds have connected as Sumeru's deity. If this deal with the Balladeer hits my pleasure... I was gonna in fact, even though he'll... Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through... Great. So prepare yourself. Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be...
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of...
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so...
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost, unlike anywhere else. Irminsul's inner reach. I know there are many grievances between you, on both... Fine. Let's call it true.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Les... If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh. The snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Is this a small sap? Oh, darn it! catch up with him. Wow. So, ooh. Paimon's never seen...
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety. Pick your jaws up off the floor.
Why is it that Paimon...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of...
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so... Say we... what are you smirking?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you. If you discover any...
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious...
Really?
Oh? How interesting.
So the Gese got it right.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Didn't it?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh?
This light. It looks similar to those saplings.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with that.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well...
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are, as I understand, the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into...
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the...
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because what have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, none of the people who went out to... But that doesn't faze you.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events.
After all, why, Mr.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look. It's a long journey from Inazuma to... And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity.
The Fatui?
Just to create a minor inconvenience.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology?
Look how even the righteous. My device function. It is easier. Make no mistake.
He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not every...
What a beautiful way to see the world. It all think of me as a monster. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove Mr. Niwa. Already dead. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If
Hey,
Dottore. Good. Good.
was that the doctor? But why did we see things from...
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space.
I need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident.
Nobody has... So now you have the... It was all a horrific of all the... After the event, the load was far... The mechanic removed... The balladeer was stuck. He thought Niwa had...
Holy mo...
Yes.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that it won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in...
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest...
Huh?
The reason why there are records about... Plus,
The heavens responded.
the Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria. I don't know the details. Did you get all that?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him. Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, King,
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer. What happened just...
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as...
We're out. And we're...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody... I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if... So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon... Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Paimon's head... There's no way he'll... There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on... Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But... So... Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munt and Drayan chili Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what... Is that a food? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something So, the balladeer. Is that someone's... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but... Is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
It's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakune, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. And for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art. But fortunately, Kaede Harakazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5, if my memory serves me right.
Oh, yeah! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden...
In fact, this was not... He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, there is no harm in telling you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a cat. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped the smith's death. In his heart, powerless and destitute, alas, finally, in his fury, but when he came to... That is why the Kaede...
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. On to the next... We're here!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow...
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Of course, what would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well. As for the Commissioner himself...
So pretty much business as usual.
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very well, Miss Kamisa. I must say, I meet whenever the commissioner, as they say, they get to talking about you. So Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. It's been many years now since, as someone who is old and gray enough. So in the future, if you are wonderful.
Paimon likes Paimon's itching to try it.
Of course.
All right, goodbye for now. Great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry.
All right.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep. Everything.
Very well. Say.
Well, here we are.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that...
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now...
We have some questions and thought you might be able to...
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask a... Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in... Oh, I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost for...
A couple?
One was just in the last few years. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a techno...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier?
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history...
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what...
What brought this on? Did you... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who... Oh, but sadly, I've never had the pleasure. Of course! Oh, you're most... Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Never, come on. You got it? All right, let's head up.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time.
The same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma.
Wow, so many new details.
Well, well. So it all comes... Ugh.
This new information...
Yes, okay, point...
And they're back at it.
Oh, so...
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out...
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't...
The Balladeer? You look troubled. Is... Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong?
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about... So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memory...
Paimon's having a hard time...
I can only make inferences based on the information we've... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had... Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irmin's. That power then enabled him to change...
Yeah, it just feels so hopeful.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale? That somehow has something to do with the Balladeer?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki-mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mount. A gray fox. The monster smiled, led the monster gave a heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer's story to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later years. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to others looking on. This may seem like a put. Never forget that even when we walk, and that is what you...
Yeah,
good idea. Paimon.
You got it. Come on. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff... What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say I don't want to take advantage, so...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias. And I promised the lady down the street I'd
leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsetias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of...
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with? You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. I have no recollection.
Are you
Sorry, but I just can't take your...
a puppet? What makes you think...
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world. Like you had nowhere to be, and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah,
You say that you're trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, hope you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous... If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect. A cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, Why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy, he's got so much to...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point.
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well,
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that in a sense.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't. No, there's no way. Look at. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichio's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as the second in command at Tatarasuna. But Katsuragi
seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords. He kept coughing all the time, just like me.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup. We're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going. Hold the line.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that can wield with an iron will. To drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
You can't run! Well,
Barbados!
all you got. Don't be our killjoy! We've only just begun! You can't run! Well, don't be our killjoy! We've only just begun! Looks like I went too far.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me?
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. By then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Pine.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes? Are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the...
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each person being a collection of... As a puppet living in a human...
Regaining your memory, are you sure you want to do that?
I've lived with a void in my chest, but then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt so I beg you.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, you have made your decision. Now, take this.
set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Die, azt mondja.
Insignificant past! The wind rises. Know your place. At my command, you shall fall. Behold. How amusing. Insignificant past! Squall and fury. My endless cycle begins! Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems...
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Where is my chest? Where is my chest? Ajaj. A chestes charge-nak.
Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a real...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But after learning about everything the doctor did, I'm not planning on returning to the...
So, you're quitting the Fatui?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't—
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire—
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan, but before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the Doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Which is why there is emotion in it. Everything that you feel is real and lasting. And whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick it up.
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for—
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a
Have you...
Legyen eleve. Legyen a neve Bambi.
Are you sure? Oh, all right.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Take your time. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh?
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my... No nonsense. I like it. All right. Let's call it goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, so we can finally go eat?
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and
I've got it! I can end my novel with...
You mean because everyone...
Yeah! I heard that the dark clouds had then, one night, as all these expressions of joy melted down in the life is a story too...
time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and... Wow! Huh? Look at them. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
You sound lost and confused.
Ooh.
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Colombiana, százszázalék.
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed.
Jézusom.
Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else...
Colombiana.
When a small
Colombina.
animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway,
Colombina.
it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying Anyway, feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Ez jó lesz. Kemény lesz.